Welcome to the Crewcast, the Crew's live podcast about video games and all things Crew. Join us and many of your favorite crew members as we review games, talk about the new Crew series, answer your questions, and much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Crewcast.
Welcome to the Crewcast, episode 30, for the 11th of the 1st, 2014. Happy New Year, everyone. Today we've got me, Gizmo, Danny over there in the corner, and Belbuzz. Let's go straight to the news.
All right, Steam machines. They've been revealed at CES, at least some of the early ones. So we've seen some Steam machines in various setups, different cases for all of them. All these different vendors. I think Alienware had one. Who else were some of the others? CyberPower, Digital Storm, Falcon Northwest. Gigabytes did one. The SPA, whoever they are, has one. iBuyPower, and Zotac, who are really popular with like little home theater type PCs, did one. Lots of different styles of cases. Some a little bit bigger. Price range is all over the map. I mean, starting at $499 for some of the low end ones and going up to a couple thousand for some of the high-end ones. And these are really, can be high-end gaming machines. I mean, you don't have to run Linux on these, which is what the Steam machines by default run. You can install your own Windows copy. I'm sure you could try to put a different Linux on there if you don't really like the Steam OS's version. But what do you guys think about these machines? Excited now that you're starting to see them and seeing prices? Or now are you like let up by it?
I mean, I wasn't expecting to be so many different types of them. I was expecting just like one thing. It's a bit confusing for me, like to sort of think which one would I probably get. Probably the easy answer is the cheapest one.
Well, I mean, I guess this really shows the PC world in a console form because some of these are the low end ones are $499. Now, granted, that $499 system is head over heels better than what you're currently using as a PC. But for $499, could you build a better PC than that?
I think you probably could.
Negative would be if you're going to be legit, can you build one for that price with a legit copy of Windows 7 or 8? Because honestly, if you're a gamer and you're building a computer, you're going to run Windows. If you're a gamer and your Steam machine is going to be your only source of games, you're probably going to run Windows on it because you're going to want to be able to access all of your library.
It'll be interesting to see if any of the developers start switching over to Linux as well. Now that the Steam machines are going to be coming out soon.
Well, I think Steam pushing this is going to help that people adopting Linux as an option. They're not going to make it the only one. And I think like Humble Bundle and some of those different groups that are trying to get bundles, when you get a Humble Bundle, you get Windows versions, Mac and Linux. So I think we're going to see stuff going over there. I still don't think you're going to see like EA or any of the big name developers put their titles on Linux, especially when they're actually competing with the console market. So like if you can get Battlefield 4 on a console or on a Windows machine, I don't know if Valve has the power to push those titles over because I think companies like Microsoft and Sony aren't going to like that because this really is a competitor. Now, price-wise, a PS4 is cheaper than all of these options. So that's one thing to be said. But, I mean, you're actually going to be able to play PC games on these things. So that's, on the flip side, the other good thing. I'm curious, and they haven't announced it yet, how much just the controller is going to cost, because the controller looks interesting, and I would love to maybe get one
Mm.
of those just to try that controller out.
Interesting to see how it works as well, because isn't it all like configurable as well? You can change what everything does on the controller.
Yeah, I mean, everything about these machines are configurable. I mean, the one thing that I absolutely love that Valve is doing with this is they've already sent out like whatever it was 300 of them or something like that, and
Yeah.
they're various configurations. They're not giving the exact same specs to everybody, so people got all kinds of different versions of the test machines that Valve had made. But they even told the beta testers, these early testers, make videos, review it, talk about it. We don't care. Just show your experiences with it and give us feedback. So they're not locking things down on people who got the early test versions, and they're not locking the hardware down. I mean, you get this machine, nothing stops you from wiping the Steam OS that they put on it and then putting Windows, putting another Linux. You can do anything you want with this. You could make this a arcade machine to put inside of a project. I mean, you can do anything you want with any of these machines. So I love the openness. I think that's great. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Valve's got some oomph in the market. I mean, they've got a great system, but will they get the big name titles? I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of consoles, this is just a quickie little thing. I wanted to make mention that for those PS4 users who have subscribed to PS Plus, the PlayStation Plus, you can get right now Don't Starve for free. And this is on the PS4. It just came out this week, I think Tuesday. We're airing this on Saturday. So about 4 or 5 days ago, Don't Starve came out, and it's gotten pretty good reviews. I mean, people who like Don't Starve, I mean, I know Giz played the PC version. I think this game does lend itself relatively well to a console controller.
Yeah, this game is really fun. I played it a while back. I think it's been like updated loads since I played it, and I still really enjoyed it. Although I was a bit disappointed. I saw this link on IGN on Facebook, and it seemed there was a lot of comments like, "Oh, not another indie game." But it's like, no, like I would have a million indie games than like the old rehashed Call of Duty game or whatever. Like indie games are amazing. They're so innovative and just so creative.
That
That
that might
grind my gears a bit.
that might be coming too from the fact if those are people who are PS4 users, be it if it's an Xbox One, be it if it's a PS4. These things are launch consoles right now. There's not a lot of titles for them. So I think a lot of the early adopters who bought PS4s and Xbox Ones keep forgetting that, and they want this large quantity of great AAA titles, but you're not going to get them all at launch. It takes time. But I really think Resogun is a free game for PS Plus, indie game, one of my favorite games of both of the new consoles. Contrast was what Lizzie and Mrs. Boz streamed the one night on the PS4. That game, indie game, really cool kind of adventure game. So I think it's a great game, and honestly, Sony's winning when it comes to like stuff that they're giving users for free. Microsoft really on the Xbox One, not a lot of free stuff from them. And even if you're an Xbox Live subscriber, they have not done games for gold on the Xbox One yet.
Mm.
But let's transition over. And Danny, what is
Yep.
coming out in 2014?
Another Halo game apparently is coming out in 2014. They haven't actually said that it's going to be Halo 5. They don't want to put a name on the game yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat tied into the story from Halo 4, and I'm assuming it's going to be with Master Chief from the trailer from E3 from last year.
So no truth to the rumors that he retired and gets into cooking, and it's going to be Master Chef.
I'm not sure, but I'm excited.
I mean, you got to expect this. I mean, Microsoft needs big titles for the Xbox One, and Halo has always been their biggest franchise. You got to expect that we're going to be seeing Halo, that we're going to be seeing Gears of War. I mean, all of the console companies are fighting and fighting to get those sales, and you have to bring out your big guns. Literally. I mean, let's talk numbers. Microsoft has announced that they've sold over 3 million Xbox Ones. Sony has announced that they've sold 4.2 million PS4s. So obviously Sony in the lead right now, but very strong sales from both.
Yeah.
Which I think is good for the consumers and good for gamers. I don't know what you guys think of these numbers. If you thought they'd be high, or if you thought they'd be low.
I mean, I thought they'd be a bit higher, but I don't really have a good kind of understanding of the numbers of stuff.
I assumed that they were going to be quite close because of the I thought there would be a big split between
Yeah, it was going to be
between
close.
both of them. It's exciting because it's competition, so it's going to make things get better for both consoles.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, you had to worry a little bit if you're a Microsoft fan because of all the drama that happened to them with some of their policies, and couple the fact that theirs is $100 more expensive. So, is this 1.2 million roughly difference? I mean, we're not sure exactly where these numbers cut off. I think it was through December 28th on Sony, but I'm not sure if Microsoft had the exact same cutoff for their 3 million, if that goes into January at all. But they're relatively close, I'm sure, in reporting date-wise. So, I mean, 1.2 million difference. It's a decent number, but, that's huge. So great numbers all around. I mean, obviously the Xbox One and Sony, are they turning a profit? Probably not. They're probably losing money so far. I mean, they always seem to lose on the initial launch of consoles. I don't know if either of them have ever really made a profit from their gaming divisions, but they both have very strong other divisions in the company. I mean, Microsoft makes tons of money off Office and Windows. I mean, that's their bread and butter. Sony has obviously the TV, the home electronics, and the movie and TV industry companies that are affiliated with them. So all large companies all seem to be doing well, which I think is good for us. So next story, and this one really excites me. And I think I had a few of our crew fans out there who sent me this link too, or sent me links to this. But there was a Steam database link that occurred, I think, yesterday or the day before, about 2 days ago. And it revealed some new games. So I'm going to mention all but the one I really want to talk about. One of the games that these are games that may potentially be close to release or at least being worked on. Battle Block Theater, Happy Wars, Pac-Man Museum, Half Minute Hero 2, which you guys might have seen Piper play. Toy Soldiers Complete. Here's one Danny may or may not like. Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate HD.
Yes.
But, and we've talked about it before, we've speculated because we've heard that it's being worked on. Killing Floor 2.
Oh my god.
It's about time.
So, I mean, there's no guarantees.
Is it real though?
Well, it's from Steam's database, and it probably means that it's at least Tripwire's working on it for sure. And if it's in the database, that probably means that they feel like they're getting closer. So I wouldn't doubt come May, June, we're playing Killing Floor 2.
Oh, I really hope they have a multiplayer thing where you can be the enemies as well as the players. That would be so good.
Yeah,
New mobs. Oh, please.
It'll be nice to see it using probably a newer version of the Unreal Engine, unless they go off the beaten path and use Source or something else. I mean, because the original uses the Unreal Engine, but it's an older engine that it uses. Works well. Not the most beautiful game in the world, but it looks good. I've always enjoyed Killing Floor. I always felt like the guns feel good. I mean, some games I play that are shooters, I don't really feel very good with the gunplay, but I've always liked it. Now, we did a stream last night of Killing Floor for fun, just relaxing. PvP's not turned on, so it's not very realistic, because we have people throwing grenades near each other. We're shooting at mobs that are right next to people or on the other side of them, but your bullets still hit the enemy. If PvP were turned on in a game like this, we would literally stink.
God, that would be terrible.
But, I mean, looking forward to it. I hope it comes out. I hope they, for the sake of Piper, they have nice numbers of female character options at release. Will they bring all of our existing characters, that are already there? Will it be all
Oh,
new characters?
Chicken Man.
This will probably be a very good source for them to get all new characters and skins so they can make money off those DLC. So I doubt we'll see like all of our original characters come across. I'm sure some will, but I bet we'll have to wait and then unlock and buy new characters, new weapons. Uh, it's a shame there hasn't been more news about this game, but I guess they're keeping it pretty tight-lipped, which I think is smart. But I like Tripwire. I mean, they're an indie developer in a sense. They're not a big name developer, but I like Killing Floor and I like seeing them do well. And Killing Floor has done really well for them. And a lot of people speculated as long as they keep selling DLC and stuff for Killing Floor, they're not going to want to put a number 2 out because then that's going to be the death of Killing Floor. People are going to stop playing it because of the new one. So, I mean, we'll see. I think there'll still be a lot of people play the old one until, prices go down because it's not going to be as cheap as Killing Floor.
Yeah.
But very cool nonetheless, and we're looking forward to it. All right, so today, which is January 9th, Thursday, we have a new snapshot, 14W02B. Have you guys tried this snapshot out yet?
No, I just saw it when I came online.
I've had a look at it briefly.
So it sounds like this is a snapshot of 1.8, and again, we're not going to get the API, the mod API, which we all, at least me, keep hoping eventually comes out, but they keep just delaying it. But we have some of the stuff in here for survival. There's three new stone types, more enchanting and repairing changes, mossy stone brick recipe, villager trading supposedly gotten better. I think there's different types of villagers now depending on what kind of items they trade, like farmers and things like that. You can stack doors now.
Yay!
There is a slime block now. It looks like it's like a bouncy block. I mean, you can actually put it on the ground and like put it on like either on the ground or like on a tent stake type, not tent stake, but kind of a stake, and then like jump and hit it and it shoots you back up in the air. So I can see
That's
parkour
awesome.
maps going crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this new block looks so gorgeous.
So some changes on adventure side of things, the adventure map mode. You can basically set it so you can't place or destroy blocks, but you can actually now specify which types of blocks can be broken. So you can create a map and only allow certain blocks to be broken, which would be great, say, for Hunger Games, where you always hear you can only break vines or this or that, but you kind of have to just rely on people being honest. Now map makers and everybody can set things up. So that's cool. More stuff for command blocks. Some of the stuff probably doesn't need to be got into. You can lock chests with a special tag. I'm not sure how that's going to work for like if you were in a multiplayer world. I don't know if you can just lock your own chest because it's editing a tag. So I don't know if it's more for map makers to be able to lock chests. There's a kill entity option now, so you can actually specify like mobs or players, whatever, that can be killed instead of just doing like the person like who activates the command block or is at the command block. That's could be cool for maps. Clear command has been set up, and some other tweaks and stuff. But it sounds nice. I love they keep working on it. Everything they add is great. I just want to see the mod API.
I'll tell you what, stackable doors.
Best thing ever.
So we might take a look at this in coming days. I mean, you guys have to let us know if you want to see us try to do snapshots. And sometimes we've tried to do them right when they come out, like, and put up a video the same day it comes out. I know a lot of channels do that. If you guys would like to see us do that, I mean, tell us, let us know, and maybe we'll try to push along and do that. But we'll keep reporting on them when we see them. But let us know if you want us to work on them. All right, that's a lot of main news.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to crew news. So theme server. We just wrapped up. Well, we're going to be wrapping up tomorrow, but it's already wrapped up by the time you guys see this. The current theme. And what's our current theme?
Medieval.
Everybody's getting medieval. So that's ended. And this Sunday, the day after this airs, you should see the video that kind of shows not necessarily all the best builds. I mean, I know there's some people who get really upset. They feel like their builds are the best or one of the best, and they can't believe it wasn't shown. Maybe somebody builds something very similar to something we show, and you felt yours is better. This is very, I'm not sure what the proper way of phrasing it, but it's basically just the crew picking some. I mean, there's always a chance we miss certain ones. We can't show everybody. So we try to do the flybys and the overviews and everything so everybody's builds have a chance to be in the video in some form. But it's not a contest. Nobody's winning anything. People just have a chance to be creative. And the best thing is you can be creative and other people come on and can see what you've done too. And we put the worlds online. The descriptions of the videos have links so you can download these worlds yourself and go back and look at everything that's built. If your build wasn't shown and you feel like it was better than one we shown, download the world and then go blow up that other creation. It'll make it feel better. So, what's the theme for this week that just started?
It is nature.
Dun dun dun.
So that can include anything from like wildlife to like trees to animals, anything in nature.
So pretty good wide open category. Lots of stuff you guys can do. Get creative. We can't wait to see what you build. And then the crew will record a video showing some of the builds. All right. We had our Retro Sunday. Now, this crew cast, we had a couple weeks off at the holidays. I was busy. Some other people were busy. So it's been a couple weeks. So we've had Giz and Mario do their Retro Sunday streams. So Giz, if you want to talk about what these retro themes are all about, and then mention what you did and then maybe what Mario did.
Basically, every Sunday or every other Sunday, we try and do a retro stream. So one of us takes the lead each time, and we sort of pick our old favourite games from our childhood or from when we were younger, and then we kind of stream like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of those games. You guys can watch us play them. So the other week, it was my turn, and I chose to do Abe, Oddworld, Crash Bandicoot 1, and Commandos. My stream went good. Commandos didn't work because it was glitchy and I installed the wrong thing. Abe, I think, went really well, and I think I'm going to try and stream some more of Abe because I love that game. And I think everyone knew Crash Bandicoot, and they all loved watching that.
Okay, what did Mario do?
Mario did the original. Was it the original, the first Tomb Raider?
Yep.
And Zoo Tycoon, I believe. I missed the Zoo Tycoon part because that was it, kind of AFK. So I guess can talk about that.
Well, obviously Tomb Raider. I'm sure you guys have heard of Tomb Raider, but this was the original Tomb Raider Mario played. So, obviously the graphics aren't as amazing, but I think the gameplay of the original Tomb Raider was fantastic. I think Mario kept falling down this parkour thing. That was quite funny. And then Zoo Tycoon is sort of a game similar to the roller coaster tycoon thing, but you basically control a zoo, so you can like get animals like monkeys and giraffes and elephants and all that stuff. And he was basically building a zoo, and he named a monkey after me, and lion ate him, I think.
So who's next? Is there somebody else going to do retro
Yeah,
this coming Sunday?
I believe hopefully the next person is going to be extra.
So that should be, as this airs on the 11th, that should be this 12th, January 12th. Extra should be streaming. No idea what he's streaming. We're not going to tell you, even if we do know. But expect it to be some retro games from his past. And it's we kind of have that crew member take the lead. They kind of run the show. Some of the other crew members are there to kind of talk and chat. But it's really all about that crew member kind of telling us and why these games meant something to them, and then just kind of playing them and re-experiencing them for everybody. Also, we do like to read on the forum. We have a thread where people can post some of their gaming moments from back in their younger days, some of those classic games that maybe meant something to them. And usually what happens is one of the crew members who's streaming will then kind of read one of those. So if you haven't posted one yet, go onto the forum and go in there and make a post and tell us what your classic gaming moments have been. All right. Lastly, on crew news, Chaos Hardcore server. We have a new server that we started up last week. This is replacing the test of the Ultra Hardcore server we did, which was a very tiny world. And people really loved it, and lots of people were playing on it. But I redid the world, made it much, much larger. I think the other world was 500 diameter of blocks, and I think this one is, did I say 6,000? I think it's 6,000.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it's massive. So there's lots of space to go and create your secret bases, but it's a hardcore server, ultra hardcore mode. So hunger is an issue. You will die if you run out of food, and your health does not replenish unless you do the golden apples or you do the golden heads from people you've killed. So a lot of people are playing it. A lot of crew have been playing on it. There's been lots of chaos on it. There's been lots of factions fighting against each other. We do have a plugin on there that allows you to create teams, and you can have your allies, and it does work correctly, doesn't it, when it comes to friendly fire?
Yep.
So if you have people in your group, your team, your faction, you can't hurt other people in your faction. So a little bit easier when you go into combat. There are no plugins on this server to prevent you from enable you to lock a chest. So there's been lots of looting and raiding. It's upset people at times. So we might look into something in the future that lets you lock chests, but there has to be a way for people to break into them still. We're not going to let you have like permanent locks that cannot be overridden. So, but it's a lot of fun. People are enjoying it. I know you guys have played it some. I mean, what are your thoughts right now on the hardcore chaos?
Danny, go first. I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm usually the guy that doesn't really like to do a lot of legit Minecraft stuff, but with the twist in this, I think I'm quite enjoying it. But I do find that skeletons are so frustrating because you just can't dodge the arrows. I'm definitely really liking it. I like the little secret bases that people have been making and stuff, and then when you kind of go off hunting and stuff, looking for the bases, it's really quite fun.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like with the PvP and trying to get different items so you can survive and hide in secret chests and all that kind of stuff. It's been quite fun.
Yeah, and it should be noted too, we still do have a ban when you die. If you die, I mean, when you see a lot of hardcore videos or our videos or other people, you die, you're out. We don't do that on this server. What we do is if you die by mobs or by starvation, falling, other players, however you die, 1 hour ban. Which is frustrating, but it's not overly frustrating. But I mean, that's the hardcore part of it. If you die, you're going to have to live with not being able to log in for an hour. If somebody's raiding your base, you're defending it, and they kill you, maybe, who knows, maybe like one of them falls into lava and both of you die. Well, then it's an hour before you can get back on. Maybe you don't know if your base has been raided. Maybe you thought you saved it, or you're not sure if they can find where you've hid your chest, but you want to get back on before they do. You got to wait an hour.
Yeah, I think an hour is like a perfect time, really, because it's within that time of the slight frustration that you die, so you don't want to die, but it's still within the time frame of able to come back on during that day.
So anyway, that's enough crew news. Let's move on to our main segment. Now, I thought because it's a new year, we've just started 2014, and everybody likes to have resolutions for the new year. Always stuff like they want to lose weight, they want, all these great goals that are all health or wellness and maybe school related, work related. We're going to throw all that stuff out because we're all just such fit beasts. We don't have to worry about that. but we're going to talk like what are your kind of your gaming resolutions, or like what resolutions maybe do you have that you'd like to see, or like a gaming resolution you'd like to see for somebody else. So say like Danny, it's like, well, I want to see Danny play more Halo in 2014. Or just maybe it's a game that Danny doesn't play that you'd like to see Danny play, or whatever it may be. And it could be for crew members who aren't here right now. So, what are your guys' gaming resolutions, or do you have any?
It's a hard one.
I know that I definitely want to play and finish the two Abe games this year. I'm possibly thinking of like streaming those at some point and kind of 100%ing them, like rescuing all the Medokans.
Okay.
I think one of mine would be to at least 100% one of my games on Steam. Because I've got so many games on Steam where I've got like half the achievements on them, and they're just uncompleted. So that might be one of them. One of them for me.
I think a Minecraft one is probably get back into my big Doctor Who adventure map that I was working on.
Spoilers.
Well,
I think for me, I probably would just like to play more of the games that I haven't played, especially some of the ones that we all have that are multiplayer that we haven't played. Um, Kind of a crew related one that I'd like to see us do is I'm really looking forward to doing some DayZ videos in 2014
Oh yeah.
because I have so much fun playing DayZ, and I love when we play as a group. We've had so many crazy experiences that have happened, and very few of them have made it to the channel. Um, so I'm hoping that as a group we can get more time to play DayZ, and especially as it evolves over this coming year, because I think we're going to see a ton of development by Rocket and his team when it comes to DayZ. So I'm very excited about that. So anything that you guys can think of that you'd like to see other crew members, gaming wise, do this year? Maybe a game that you've been trying to bug one of them to play, or a game that they played and they didn't like that you want to see them, come back to, or just, some goal that you'd like to see some other crew member have.
I have a good one.
Okay.
For a while, for a few times anyway, we've tried to play Magicka,
yeah,
and both times we've tried, we've failed. So I think trying to play through Magicka would be a group one for the people who were playing it.
I think a group one probably play and finish Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, that's definitely one we need to get back to. Or we haven't even actually started that one, have we?
No, I think we played it for fun a few times.
Yeah, but not the actual.
No, not the actual
campaign.
mission. I'd like to see Piper kind of play some more DayZ and kind of stick with it.
Yeah. Now, what kind of Giz is referring to a lot of times, and this is just a byproduct of gaming and time, is that a lot of times when we play DayZ, Piper will play. But DayZ is one of those games that you don't play for an hour. You don't play for 2 hours. You play for 3, 4 hours. And even then, it goes by so quick, and a lot may not happen. But Piper has to work. Piper has early hours, so she has a set schedule. It's very tough for Piper to stay up late. I mean, she'll stay up late when we do like 24-hour live streams and stuff. But even so, I think the last one she took a nap. I think she might have taken a nap even on the other one too. Did she ever stay up for the whole 24 hours?
I don't think so.
I don't think she has.
Yeah. So, but I mean, in her defense, she works and she has set hours. She doesn't have the freedom of being able to sleep in except on very few days. So it's hard for her to do it, and it's not fair of us to force her to do that. So she has to go. She has to go. So hopefully, because I have the same thing, I'd like to see Piper be able to play some of these survival-y games that we play that take long times, play for with us for a whole long session. But it means that we'll probably have to start it earlier on a weekend, or it be like a weekday or something that she's off, and we could start earlier. It's just tough with all the time zones too. But yeah, I mean I think having Piper play some of those type of games would definitely be a good one. I can't really think of a lot of games that that other crew maybe don't like or don't play. that
Well, I think one thing I'd like to see in regards to like DayZ again is Mario to like know where he is.
to know the map.
Yeah, at least the coastline, because I find that sometimes it's like I've no idea where I am, and then he's just running.
Well, that's one of the things that we've kind of got an advantage over because we played the mod so much. We know exactly where we are when we spawn in.
Yeah.
And Mario never really liked DayZ mod. He pretty much disliked it. He tried, at times when we played different DayZ mods or different things, but I don't think his heart was ever really into it because he just didn't like the mod and the variants. I think he was okay with Battle Royale, but I don't think he ever. I mean, he didn't like. I don't think the zombie part of Battle Royale, and I don't think many of us like the zombies in general in DayZ mod because they're so glitchy. But he seems to be enjoying DayZ. But because he never really played the mod a lot, he doesn't really know the map very well. And honestly, Piper struggles with the map. I think all of us, the three of us, when we play, we spawn on the coast. Generally, we figure out where we are in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've played it so much. Other than us, I think we're probably the only three. Everybody else struggles with it and has to consult maps. I mean, we do consult maps now on the new DayZ because they've added lots of cities, and until you start playing it a lot, you don't know where all the good loot is. So, but hopefully, we've had a lot of people asking for DayZ and DayZ. We've tried a few times to play standalone, and we've either gotten separated, not got to each other, or we all starved and died and everything. So we did stream it. I think Mario streamed one day. We actually streamed Infestation, which is War Z, and then right after that we streamed DayZ or vice versa. I forget what the order was.
I'll tell you what, one other thing I'd like to see this year in DayZ is that we get a massive group of us, like 20 plus, like all together, running together. That would be hilarious.
Hopefully, when the servers start going up to like 100+ players, we can do that.
That would be crazy.
I mean, the one thing is with DayZ, the standalone now, if you have us on Steam when we play, you know we're playing and you can get on the server we're on because we're friends. So hopefully, if you do that, you come on to actually play with us and be a team versus coming on just to try to kill us.
Yeah, we need a code word. People to shout out, nobody shoot them.
Yeah. So if you do come on to kill us, shoot Danny first because he.
Please don't.
And then Giz, and then save me. And
I get so mad.
Tie up with handcuffs and then feed disinfectant.
Did you see the video on Reddit? This is a complete thing, but switch off. But lots of videos, obviously, lots of streamers, and everybody's trying to kidnap, force feed, poison, kill, and just take the clothes off of. Because in this game, when you take people's clothes, they don't get naked, but they get down to their underwear. What do you guys call the clothing when you get down to that level? You guys call it undergarments and underwear? Or?
No, well, just underwear, pants.
Yeah, underwear.
Knickers.
Yeah, see, pants to us are what you wear on the outside, like jeans. So, I mean, you get them down to that level, but they're not naked. But all these videos, and people are like, oh, everybody's trying to handcuff everybody. But there was a video where this one guy showed up, and there was two people, and he wanted to take all their stuff. He made them put all their stuff on the ground, take their clothes, and then he had them lay down, and it was like he was going to get ready to execute them. And they were talking back and forth, these two buddies, and the one guy's like, he doesn't know I still have a pistol. So right when the guy went to start handcuffing his buddy, he stands up, pulls his pistol out, and puts 2 bullets in the guy's head. So there's a lot of videos that have that realm, and we never aired a DayZ video for certain reasons that we won't get into. But one of our first attempts at like doing a DayZ Let's Play ended up with us getting kidnapped, and we kind of went along with it. Extra didn't. Extra wanted nothing to do with it. But we've had so many great experiences that have never made it to the channel, like the whistle guy, the kidnapping, and some other stuff. I mean, there's been great experiences. Hopefully now that we have more crew with like good computers, like Danny's got his new computer, Mario has a good system. They all have, in a sense, I always tell them, keep your fraps always running, set it to load on startup or whatever, so you're always ready in case something does happen. Because frequently we get separated or we're not together. And if I'm the one recording and I'm waiting on everybody to get to me, and I don't know how many times Gizmo's like, "Oh, I'm dead. I'm being chased. Somebody's going to shoot me. Oh, I see. There's a car. I'm going to get in it." We're like, "Don't. They're going to kill you, Giz." All those type of moments we miss because only one of us generally was recording. Hopefully we can get more moments from DayZ. But I definitely think 2014 is going to be a big DayZ year for us. All right. Well, if we had any other crew showed up, we'd let them talk about their gaming resolutions and stuff. But all their gaming resolutions this year are to play games more and be in more crew stuff. All right, so let's move on to deals of the week. So Steam sale for Christmas is over. Did you guys buy much at all during the Christmas Steam sale?
Not a few things.
Not really. I got some presents and stuff. Didn't really buy anything though. I got Wolf Among Us. I got the Contagion thing, I think, from you, Boz. I got Towns.
Danny, did you buy much at all?
Not a lot. I think I bought a few games. That was about it, really.
Yeah, I this year I didn't really buy a lot myself either. I got a few things here and there, but the Humble Bundle 10, which is going on right now, and it'll be going on for about 9 more days from when this video airs. Link in the description. Currently, they are doing on this Humble Indie Bundle 10 To the Moon, Joe Danger 2, the movie, Papa and Yo, Runner 2, which is by the Bit Trip guys, Reyes, which I've heard a lot of good things about, and the one game that you always see people on Reddit posting clips of or pictures of, Surgeon Simulator 2013. Now, those last two, Reyes and Surgeon Simulator, you have to at least pay more than the current average, which was $5.38 as we record this. If you bid less than $5.38 to pay, you'll get the first 4, but you won't get Reyes and Surgeon Simulator. So I recommend you pay more than the average if you can. You'll get those 2 games, and you'll also get anything that they add as it goes on. Did you guys hear, though, what they did on this bundle that upset people at the very beginning?
Ooh, no?
No.
The first, I think, people who bid more than $10, it may have been the average, but I think it was set at $10 when it first started. The first 1,000 who did that got Starbound also.
Wow.
I mean, in a sense, I can see how it upset people, but I can also see that it's like a special thing. But I guess if they were gonna do that, I can see how it could upset people because like Starbound is like the hot game at the minute. So getting it cheaply would be.
Yeah, I think what upset people too, though, is they only had 1,000, so they went like immediately.
Yeah,
so some people ended up paying close to the $10 or whatever it was, but weren't able to get Starbound because it was already gone, and they wouldn't have paid that much. And of course, now the average has started to plummet. And I'll admit, when I first saw it, it was like $7, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of high for. I didn't think these games were horrible, but I didn't think this was like grade A titles. I'm like, wow, they're getting $7. Did it just start when I looked at it? But it was that bump that they got from, giving Starbound away to those first 1,000 people. But some people were not happy about it because it kind of inflated the price, and they had so few copies that they went so quickly, people missed them.
Yeah. I mean, of these games, I've only played Surgeon Simulator, and it's quite a fun game. Very frustrating. But just looked at this Rias game thing. It looks amazing. I'm tempted to get this. This looks really good. Because I'm massive on like the giant kind of god creature type things. I love those kind of things. So I think I might get this.
So it all should be noted, you also get soundtracks for all the games. Of course, if you don't pay more than the average, you don't get the other 2, and you don't get the soundtracks for those 2. But soundtracks for all of them, you can download them through Steam. You can also download them through Humble Bundle. Be aware now, and we've mentioned this before, Steam and Humble Bundle, the way it works now is when you buy a Humble Bundle, you then associate it with your Steam account. So what happens is all the games show up, and you basically click, send it to my Steam, send it to my Steam, and it sends it to the Steam account that you've associated with it. If you already have it, it just doesn't work. But it's very tough then to give out stuff like people used to do in the past to their buddies. Now you kind of like you buy a bundle, it's for you, and which is what they've always said, but they've made it so it's very much more difficult to give stuff out unless you give out the entire thing. So that bundle's going on for about 9 more days when this video airs. Link in the description, check it out. Humble bundles are always great. They have weekly bundles, they have their own store, lots of good stuff. Money goes partially to charity, which is great. So check them out. We can't say enough about Humble Bundle. So let's get to your questions. So we need more questions. We're starting to get through. We pretty much are finishing up all the good questions that we've had received. So in the description of this video is a link to a form. Fill it out. Send us your questions. It could be about gaming. It could be about us. It could be about anything that you think relates to the crew. You can do them in type form through that form, or you can make a video on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever you want to do. You can make an audio question and put it on Dropbox or SoundCloud. Give us a link in the form to your question, and we'll actually air your video and your audio, depending on how you send it to us, in the actual podcast. If not, we'll do like we are going to do here for these 3 questions, which is we'll just read them. First question comes from MobWatch123. And the question is, has YouTube's new Content ID system affected you? If it has, how did you deal with it? Hasn't really affected us. I'm going to do it again. Knock on wood. Ever since this started, I hate going into this because I could talk about this for an hour, but it hasn't affected us yet. But I don't really think it's a new system. It's the same system that's been there. It's just that tons of people who were partnered had their multi-channel networks have, in a sense, abandoned them. But for us, the system hasn't affected us because I don't think anything's really changed. It's just we were never part of a multi-channel network. We're partnered with YouTube, and I've gone through their system of Content ID, and there's a trust that's built. The more videos you submit without issue, the more they trust you. I've gotten to the point now where they trust me, and when I put videos up, they get approved for monetization almost instantly, and I don't have any real issues. We've had some Content ID stuff in the past, but it's just been bogus stuff. All of them have all been dealt with. It's just these multi-channel networks are now failing people, and it's a mess, and YouTube gets blamed, but honestly, it's the partner networks, those machinimas and all them, that I think should take the blame because they didn't do their job, and now the content owners, like the game companies, are forcing them to do their jobs. So what they've just said is, I don't want to do my job. Say for Gizmo, who's a machinima partner. He's not, but if he was, they're like, well, Gizmo, you don't have 10 million subscribers. We're going to put you into an affiliate, basically. You're going to have to do your own content management. We can't monitor yours. But we'll monitor Danny, who's got this channel with 10 million subs, because he's making us tons of money, and we don't want to lose him. So I think it's sad. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard much more about the content system or some of the stories coming from it. A lot of people are upset, but we've already played by the rules from the beginning, and honestly, nothing's really changed for us.
No, I haven't heard too much more. Kind of depressing when you hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get not emails, I should say, but private messages all the time on YouTube from all the different ones wanting us to sign with them. But let's move on. All right. Second question comes from MollyFeed29. Will you make an external server on Minecraft PE? Yes. Is that good enough?
That's clear and concise.
I actually set one of these up for testing, and it works. It's a little buggy, but once they fix a couple little issues, I will set up a PE server and run it for a while and see what kind of use it gets. Because I know we have some fans out there that don't have the PC version of Minecraft. They do have it on iPads, and it is similar to playing on Minecraft servers. I mean, it's this little server. It works. The glitch that I saw, and maybe it's been fixed. I haven't looked in a week or two, but like Lizzie tested it with her Android tablet. She could go around the world and she could break stuff, but like when she was cutting trees down, breaking tree blocks, sometimes she couldn't pick them up unless she did the tree from above. So it's like if you were above the block, you could always pick it up. But sometimes if you were below the block, they wouldn't pick up. And this isn't a Minecraft bug. This is a bug with the people who are working on these servers, because I don't think there's any official servers besides the what's it called, the Minecraft Mojangs.
Realm.
Yeah, besides Realm. Those are official, but Mojang does not like distribute the server software, as far as I know, for PE servers that you can run on like a PC, Windows, Linux. It does work. Once they iron out those last few bugs, we will set something up. People will be able to come on and play. I don't know if many crew have the PE edition, so I don't know if there'll be any crew that'll come on and play. Lizzie has it. Piper might have it. You don't have it, do you, Danny?
No, I don't have it.
So there may not be a lot of crew to play with, but maybe a few. Maybe some of the crew will end up getting it once there is a server to play on. But once you play the PC version, sometimes it's hard to play the PE version.
I guess played the PE version when we were in America.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's getting closer and closer to the full version, and Mojang does handle the PE version. It's not like the Xbox and the PS3 that are done by a third party. So I think eventually you'll start seeing them get closer in features, and maybe they'll even make them compatible server-wise, which would be kind of cool. So we will set one up. Timetable on when is whenever I feel the software is stable. Because if I have it where blocks aren't getting picked up, people are going to just keep complaining, I can't pick up this wood or this block or that block, and it would just be a mess. All right, last question. This is an interesting question, and it comes from Thrash Man. Will the crew ever do texture pack showcases? I'm looking for a good texture pack, and I would love to find the one I am looking for from the crew. So I thought this was interesting. It would have been nice if we had had like all the crew here in the podcast, because then that could be the question I could throw out. Would anyone want to do a series like this where they just quickly show a look at different texture packs and walk around saying, yeah, this looks good. I don't like this. I like that. This is a high res, so it looks good, but it affects maybe slower systems or whatever, and just give like quick review, like a 5-minute video showing a texture pack. Could be interesting. I don't know if you guys out there would like to watch something like that, like Thrashman would, but it could be interesting. I don't know if there's a crew member who would be really slated and good for something like this.
No, Extra said he wanted to get into something, and he did say he wanted to get into reviewing things, so maybe he could be good at that. Maybe
So,
if
yeah.
we have a few people with him to do it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, I think we used to do mods, and we'll try to get back into doing more mods and maps and things in 2014. But I could see maybe being interesting, and maybe Extra is the right guy for it. I thought Piper might be like, ooh, that'd be fun. So it could be something that I think if we did it, it would be nice to have one person kind of do it, because then they can build, in a sense, a review history. So they can say stuff like, well, this texture pack that I'm showing right now, I like it, but I really like more the one I did 3 episodes back. I just felt it's still better for maybe this style of art. Maybe it's like a medieval type of texture pack, and they said, well, I like it. This other one that I did that's more medieval themed better. So
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
I mean, personally, I find with texture packs, I like to kind of play on normal when I'm on like a server, like an open server. But when we do maps and stuff, I love how it forces you to have texture packs.
Yeah, I mean, I like texture packs, obviously, like you're saying, for custom maps because of what they can do. And when I usually run non-standard maps, I usually run the ones that are faithful. like Faithful and all that, but ones that really are very close to the originals, because I don't like to get too far off. But I do like some of the ones that are faithful to the original, but a little bit higher resolution. There's tons of texture packs out there, and the new texture pack, resource pack system makes it really good that even when there's an update, you can still use the old resource packs. It just won't overwrite the stuff that's new. So all the old stuff will still have the new look, but any new blocks will just go ahead and use the current one. Plus, you can have multiple resource packs loaded. You can stack them, which is awesome. So anyway, that concludes episode 30, which is a decent milestone for us to see we've done 30 of these podcasts.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't believe did we continue our number from the podcast ones we did on the live stream, or did we start at 1?
We started at 1, I think.
Yeah, so we've actually done more than 30 because we've done some on the live stream on Twitch, but 30 on here on YouTube, and people seem to enjoy it. I mean, I know it's not as popular as some of the other stuff we did, but we've talked with some people in the past about maybe we won't do them, but we've had enough people who said they like these and want us to keep doing them. So if some of you want us to keep doing them, we'll keep doing them. But with that, if you guys want to, we will say goodbye and head out at the end here of episode 30.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Crewcast. We hope you tune in again next time. Compass.